Hello, everybody. This is the week 7 block progress report. Um, this week it was a bit more theoretical than the last weeks, which were very practical and had lots of things going on. This week I mostly set out on designing the high level the high level outline for the test software to find out the new pressure to distance tables for the new longer muscles. So a bit of introduction for context. The fluidic muscles that I use for the project are inherently non-linear, and they follow a hysteresis curve, a bit similar like this one, where as the muscle contracts, it it has a set of pressure to distance characteristics for one given load. So if a muscle has 40 kilograms, as it's contracting, it'll have this characteristic from pressure to distance, and as it's the relaxing, it'll have another characteristic. So there's that is referred to as calibrated muscle. You find out those values and use them into the software, and that was the last approach with the last software. But anyway, um, yes, it was mostly designed experiment. There will be a test rig like this one where you attach one load, you put one pressure, measure the distance that's contracted with the encoder attached, put another pressure, another distance, pressure, distance, pressure, distance, pressure, distance until you reach 6 bars, and then you do the same thing with decreasing increments until you reach 0 bars. And the main challenges were making the calibration software without really having a way to access the muscles. Because this week, due to the absence of my instructor, of my supervisor, I didn't have any access to the muscles, which I really needed to. Now I tried doing a similar approach that I did back in week one to week 3, where I didn't even really touch X-Plane, but I just designed a high level outline and tried to get as much of the system working by simulation. But so yeah, here I have the flow chart where I plan out, okay, this is what the software has to do to actually get the pressure to distance tables. But this here, simulating serial communication within the same machine, turns out is very tricky. I looked into this, and you need a software called com to com, which allows you to just have two serial communication ports that talk to each other, and they just send each other the same information. And the computer that I run this on is Windows, and because com serial com doesn't come from a verified source, it does not Windows does not allow to install the drivers in it without disabling um, driver authorization, which I really do not want to do because it's just so much trouble for what it's worth that I just went on to focusing on two other things. So planning the high level outline was one of the things I focused on, just making sure I get as much of this logged out. I began writing up the report, so getting the really lengthy bits, so the introduction and literature review, as well as what I set out to do with all the requirements. I figured, okay, I can do that, so I'll do it. Because this week I don't have as much access to hardware, which I need. So yes, this was just more so a way of making sure I do the most with my time. And so yes, I wrote up a fair decent amount. I did the initial draft of the literature review, which I'm currently reviewing with one of my other supervisors. And yes, that's more or less the update. Um, I'll go back to the blog, see if I missed out on anything. And yes, that's pretty much the progress summary. Week 8, I am planning, because my supervisor's back, I'll be definitely planning on to moving into the actual hardware, and then I'll have access to the serial communication, which the serial communication is the encoder distance measurement that's sent by a serial. So if I have access to that hardware, I'll have the serial connection, I'll have the toggle pressure sent by UDP, and there'll be no problem with that. I'll be a bit busier because I don't have as much of the software planned out. I did read through the code base, and I really just tried to do the most of what I could this week. But yes, stay tuned for week 8. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.